on, let's go, boy!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 3BG at the Movies. And today, talking about Alien Romulus. And gotta say, this is a solid ass movie.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Very, very solid film. Holy crap, this was good. I love the way it was shot. The score whenever it showed up, because seeing how this is a space movie, there were a lot of silent moments.
They captured the silence of what space is. Like, it's dead silence. There's nothing.
They also took it back to this being like science fiction horror.
So
this was great movie.
So the basis behind Alien Romulus is essentially it takes place in between Alien and Aliens. And for those that don't remember, this movie does a good job of kind of reminding you of that. Actually, no, it does, but so I forgot that basically Aliens took place 57 years after in this timeline of the Alien franchise and stuff, basically. Yeah. So, because anytime I hear, this takes place between two different movies, I was like, wasn't that a short distance? And I forget that little side plot about that.
Yeah, Ripley was in cryosleep for like 57 years.
Yeah, so this movie does a really good job of fitting perfectly in with that, because I think you had this, and then there was a game, Alien Isolation, that actually Alien Isolation took place like 15 years after Aliens 2, because it posits the idea that Aliens 3 and Resurrection didn't happen, basically. With that, we follow these group of people that work for the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, who pretty much put people in indentured servitude, essentially, because one of the characters thought she worked off all her hours and was going to be home free, and they were like, yeah, sorry.
Not today.
Not today. And we basically joined around with her and the rest of her team. Was it Rain, Andy, Tyler, Kay, was it Bjorn, and Navarro? Basically 5 people. And they're all basically trying to, get off the planet and go to another planet, so they're not under the guise of Weyland-Yutani. And they get the bright idea to go to a space station. Well, initially they say it's a ship, and then they get there as a space station, and hijinks ensue from there once they get to the ship.
Well, the purpose of it was for them to take the
cryo.
They want to take, they just happened to be 5. Coincidentally, there were 5 cryopods for the 5 crew members that needed it, and they figured, hey, let's just go ahead and take them. We can use them to get to the planet that we need to get to, and we should be straight. Simple plan, right?
Yeah. The usual things that you think happens, some of the mistakes that you've seen characters go into in previous Alien movies pop up in here. The deaths are great. Probably one of the biggest thing this movie has going for it is a lot of nostalgia callbacks. One that's a major plot point of this film that connects the other movies, which is done in such a good way that you don't really feel like it's just pandering. It's like, oh, okay, that does make sense. That tracks for why certain things happen. Okay, cool. That perfectly makes sense. And basically, you find out that Weyland-Yutani has been doing more shenanigans since after the first movie.
I'm gonna say Weyland-Yutani is still an evil corporation, as shown in all of the other Alien franchise.
And it better kind of tells you why they are who they are in Aliens 2, stuff, especially with Burke and the Weyland-Yutani Corps, because it's just like, oh, so this has been going on. Okay, cool. And like I said, this movie does a good job of still being its own thing, but still kind of really tying into not just the Alien movies, but also Alien Covenant and Prometheus, for better or worse.
Can't say exactly what, but
yeah,
when you see it, you'll know.
And so it's so I guess for me, because I saw the trailer and they really emphasized a lot of the stuff with the Facehuggers, which, dear God, like the Facehuggers in the original series, they were definitely like, ah, shit, like scary. It's scary and just they're literally little sliverly things. But this movie really heightens it up on how deadly they can really be.
Yeah, just basically stay away from them. Like, don't
If
aggravate.
one was enough, but like I said, the trailer showed as much. It's like, yo, that's nightmare fuel.
Yeah, that shot. I want to say that shot from the trailer where you saw like a
Oh, they're
metric
chasing them down.
handful, like when you see a bushel of them. Let's just say a bushel of them come running out of that freaking door. I'm like, no. Burn it with fire,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. And like I said, first and foremost, love the creature designs. It's definitely a mix of special effects and practical, and they do it in such a way that even I was just like, this looks like this was practical, and that looks like CGI, which isn't a bad thing. It's actually really good, and they, like I said, does a really phenomenal job of melding like both of those things together to where you are questioning what's real and what's not, which I think is great. Like I said, visual effects with the explosions and some of the set pieces in this film is really good. Kind of remind me of Dead Space. The first Dead Space, just the way it captures the mood of outside in space and how there is no sound out in space.
Yeah. It's like being I know you mentioned Dead Space or The Thing if it was in space.
Yeah, pretty much. And so yeah, it's definitely just it, and even the characters, they fulfill that sort of character archetype, and not in the most blatant way, but just like certain characters just act a certain way. And I think the other good thing, even with that, though, is you kind of go into the character's head of they don't know what these aliens, like we know as the audience what these things are, but you kind of get the fear of them figuring out as it goes, because there's a moment with the Facehuggers that there was a piece of information I didn't know.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh.
Like,
okay, that makes
out
sense.
Out of the whole trilogy, they've never really established that. They never even mentioned that in the trilogy before. But seeing it being mentioned in this movie, I was like, well, that's new.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it's good. One of the characters that stood out to me though, easily, Andy. Character Andy.
Andy is the MVP of this movie.
Shout out to David Johnson. He's really good. He's in this show on HBO Industry. Really good actor. He knows how to really play the sort of timid but sort of serious kind of vibe and stuff really well. And like when he switches from that timid to like sort of serious and calculating and cold, it's like, oh, this shit's okay. Okay, I like this.
Man, dope. He definitely became a favorite of mine.
And like I said, the other characters are there too, but like I said, it's all the characters fulfill their obligations of what they bring to the table, and it works. I mean, I don't think you're really supposed to really, oh man, I need to really beat the kids. It's like, no, we get enough of what they are, because at the end of the day, ultimately, as soon as they get on that ship, they're cannon fodder. And cannon fodder they are. And even down to even some of the rules that they show for the aliens that we know and they imply it, and the way they use it is really great. And like you said, the atmosphere, it captures that atmosphere, the tenseness, the horror, all that stuff really well. The jump scares work. It ain't cheap jump scares. It's like, oh shit, like
there was legit scary moments in this movie.
Yeah. And like I said, the throwbacks and callbacks is in abundance, and I mean, some of them you might roll your eyes like, okay, movie, got you,
Like you kind of expected that.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the same dude that did the recent Evil Dead movie that came out, the remake that came out, and he did Don't Breathe. So he's been on the roll with these films, man. I can't blame him, man. So I am looking forward to see if he stays on for this franchise. I mean, you got Alien Romulus, and then you got Prey. So we finally got some Alien and Predator movies recently that finally are both are good. And it's like, all right, cool. Because after the Predator and Prometheus and
Alien Covenant.
it's like things are looking grim. Things are looking grim. I mean, so I'm look, it's in a good place. And like I said, I think having that space of time between Alien and Aliens, you can continue doing these kind of sort of self-contained stories in a way. Like it could just work and stuff. And like I said, that's why I keep forgetting about the fact that span of time you can just do whatever you want, and it's not going to come across as like sacrilege,
Right?
And stuff. So hey, we'll see what they do next. And I mean, you got any final thoughts?
Definitely go see this movie in IMAX.
Oh yes. Ooh man, this might be one of those. I might want to go see this at the Air and Space Museum.
God, there's like a bunch of movies I hope are playing there, and I hope this is one of them because I definitely want to see it on a real IMAX screen.
Man, that should probably look beautiful. So yeah, but at any rate, that is it, and we will catch you guys later. Peace.
That boy is Benny Hanna.